Welcome back, fans and friends. This is the last of the series because I didn't buy the last two. So therefore I can't keep going on and on and on. Spettacolare series. This is number 1. So that means that the last one was number 2. Hopefully I'll write it down properly in the... Anyway. This, with the coming out of this is the Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Tipo TI, depending on your point of view. This would be the same as the HF version of a Lancia. So this is a rally car. You can clearly see the rally cage. It is done how I rather appreciate, like that Lancia back there. I'd rather have it in white or red than yellow, or there's really no other negative colors here. It has, hopefully they did the Alfa Romeo better than on the Giulia, because on the nose of the car you can clearly see there. I'm hoping it's done way better. 3D painted lights, we'll get into that a little bit later. It does look really nice. This is, I believe, the rally slash stock car version of it. And there we have it. Spettacolare series, number 1 out of 5, real riders, Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Ti. All the same stuff as the other packages, so this is great for Mattel because all they have to do is just do this over and over and over. It's not like Green Light or any of the other versions of their car. Only thing that is entirely different is this. And from the last 2 videos, you'll notice this doesn't have the Stratos on it, it doesn't have the Giulia on it, it has this car. So let's get right into it, so I'm not just dragging on. And so here we finally have it. I'm hoping that it is looking way better. And the steering is more, it's on the left side, and you can clearly see there the gear shift for its intended role for racing. I do believe this is a 4-wheel drive version of the car. You can clearly see the roll cage. It is just evident everywhere. I do like the splitters on this, unlike that on that Lancia. The widened wheels, obviously for performance reasons. And then I guess what we'll do is we will move from the top. There's Alfa Romeo on the spoiler, which is plastic separate piece. We'll go to the front of the car. We can clearly read Bilstein. These 2 things in the front, the grills are a little bit fuzzy. The Alfa Romeo, you can kind of see the red and the green on the left and right. The front headlights, not perfect, but well enough done. So I'm not going to dock off points for that. It looks well enough. They're both the same side, left and right, more or less even. What we do, nope. And so we go to the top, like again, the Alfa Romeo looks nice and clear. It is a little bit fuzzy, but it's not going to be perfect, so it's good enough. We have rear view mirrors, unlike the last 2 cars, the Giulia nor the Lancia don't have rear view mirrors. I don't know if the Lancias did, but I'm pretty sure they did. They had it near the front. Anyway, yeah, they do. They do have them. They just don't have them on these Hot Wheels premiums. So on to the left side, we clearly read Brembo brakes. It is a little bit fuzzy. Bilstein, you can clearly see how fuzzy the Alfa Romeo and the 155 are. The cloverleaf is pretty fuzzy too. Alfa Romeo here is not as clean as it is on there. There's the Pirelli for the tires. We have very simple wheels. And they are exactly the same wheels as on the box. I'm looking for the gas cap. I do not see it. So there's the exhaust for the car intern. No, the exhaust is right there. Never mind. I don't know what that is. It's a bulge on the side of the side fender. Anyway, to the back of the car, we have Brembo on the other side, Pirelli, Alfa Romeo. They're a little bit fuzzy, but it's nothing serious. 155 V6 Ti, clearly written on the right side. Alfa Romeo, reasonably, we can tell it's Alfa Romeo because it's gray on white. It's kind of hard to read. The miniaturized symbol there, more or less easy to see, easy to read. Spoiler appears to be slanted on one side for no reason. There's the 4 exhaust pipes that I was mistakenly pointing out as those. Lights, I'm taking it because it's extremely simple. It's the orange, black in the middle, and then the silver on top. A little bit grainy, but we get what we get. And then the right side is more or less identical. I was kind of thinking Alfa Romeo, the gas cap would be like that one on the driver's side, so the left side, but on the top somewhere, but I don't see it. Anyway, not important. Pretty much the right side is identical to the left side. Once again, we can clearly see it through the windshield. The roll cage sort of bending a little bit weirdly under there. There's the cooling from the intake for the wheels on the front. Exactly on the other side. I really like the appearance of this car. It looks kind of like the racing version of the Monte Carlo from Lancia. The Beta Monte Carlo, people are familiar with that. Or the BMW racers of the 90s. This looks a lot like that. And it looks excellent. I really do like this car. I saw the Stratos first, then this, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to do the two, I might as well get that third one. I don't regret any of them. What else we have? Just to cover the bottom of the car. We'll see how new a release this is. So 2 years, that's not bad. S15 release, and you have all the information you need about it. 155 V6 Ti. On the bottom of the car, very plain as usual. Mattel does not go all out for the undercarriage. It's not much worse than a green light, but it's a premium, so it's not much cheaper. But I've never seen a European cars from Greenlight. So until I see these cheap from somebody else, Mini GT, whoever else, IXO, all those other companies, this more or less will do an excellent job of sitting on the desk. And you can actually see, and I didn't bring this up before, there's only one seat in there. So definitely I'm thinking not rally, because rally you need that guy to read the map. This is stock car racing. Because we have a bunch of other rally cars here, and you can clearly see two seats. And you can only imagine in this Stratos, the two seats is having to sit in this thing going, yeah, there needs to be two of us, but we can barely fit one. Yeah, all those other rally cars have two, and I'm pretty sure rally requires two. I'm not sure now the rules. But all the other rally cars, this is one of my favorites. I'm just going to keep bringing it up because nobody can stop me. It is the Rally 37 from Lancia. More or less all the Lancias on that side and everything else on this side. They're all Fiats, so take your pick. I don't regret this at all. So if you do see it on the shelves, you do like the 155 V6 version, the TI, the high performance. I'm going to say it's the stock car version of the car. Kind of like a NASCAR, but not really. Because you can clearly see they've lightened it. The roll cage, all that stuff points towards stock car rather than rally, which is two seats, and then a couple of other things that will be different. However, I still highly recommend this car. For those of you who like Italian engineering and or racing from the late 80s, early 90s, even the 70s, like I said, the Stratos and the 37 are 70s and 80s children. Anyway, I'm going to stop blathering on and on and on. From this series, I highly recommend these two. If you are a fan of the Stratos, you'll be getting a very different version than that car. It is a slightly newer version. It's not going to cost a fortune, but it's not going to be much cheaper than a Greenlight, but Greenlight doesn't make these. And I do like the appearance of it better. Nothing totally wrong with that Stratos, but I just like this one better. And then the Giulia, the third one, hit or miss if you like this kind of car. I just went for the gold, silver, and bronze, so I ended up getting all three of them. I now think that because there's no rearview mirrors on this or that, but I just like this one so much better, I give it a pass. This one is probably the one I like the least, but that's not saying it's the worst car. It's just I like it the least. And then also technically from that series, but not from that series, is this. This is the Jay Leno's Garage Lamborghini. I believe it's the LP 5000. And if you have this one, you don't need to get the one from this set. It's stupid. It's not stupid. You just don't want to get it. Anyway, fans and friends, I've rambled on and on for no reason. That's what I was talking about. So if you'd rather have the red than the yellow, do whatever you want. It's Thomas from Toronto. Thanks for watching, and till the next one.